So let's see what's going on Brazil lately. We have this famous YouTuber, one of the biggest YouTubers and podcaster in this country. He started as a weed smoker gamer, and soon he became one of the biggest YouTubers in Brazil. How come? How did that happen? Well, whatever. His podcast was copied from the Joe Rogans. Because you see, Brazilians copy every shit America makes. Like myself, Brazilian copies every shit America makes. And those Joe Rogan's podcasts spread all over Brazil like a cancer. And in this episode, he was interviewing those two congressmen. I mean, one congressman and this congress lady. This half Brazilian, half Japanese congressman and this congress lady. And this guy, this YouTuber, is well known for his stupidity and for, if not drunk, always high. That's what people said, and that's what he said himself. And in a crucial moment, he said, yes, he said that. He said people should have the right to be Nazis. You know, it's a crime to be a Nazi in Brazil. Even though I don't see people getting punished for that very often. You know, punishment in Brazil is for the poor and pigmented only. Here, he said, people should have the right to be Nazis. Now, here come the real politics here, because this lady immediately say, no, it's not right. This is real politics here, folks. And yeah, and she asked this fake Japanese, half Brazilian Congress dude whether Germany should finish the Nazi Party, whether Germany was right to ban the Nazi Party. And he said no. He said Germany should have a Nazi Party. And he said people should have a right to be Nazis. He said people should have a right to make Nazi Party. He said Nazi parties should be allowed in Germany. How crazy is this? I mean, Germany and Japan were allies during the World War II, but it's crystal clear. The Nazi ideology says that people that are different should be exterminated in camps. I mean, back then, Japan and Germany were allies for convenience because the Nazis believed they were pure race or blood or whatever bullshit they believed. This is real politics here because this Congress lady was pushing him. They believed she was doing that for, she was creating the situation that would favor her. But look at this asshole. He's a Latino, he's a Brazilian. How come, how insane is that? How come this fucking idiot supports something hideous as Nazis? He would be at Hitler's killing list. Here in this fake Japanese Brazilian congressman would be at Hitler's killing list. Now, this is how complex Brazil is. This is how complex this jungle is. So this is where I get raw materials for my scripts, from the real life, from disgusting episodes like this. You know, there is a phenomenon that always intrigues me. It always blows my mind. It makes total sense when you learn that the KKK are composed by low pigmented or white Protestant American people from the South. But when you see Brazilians supporting the KKK, Latinos, Brazilians supporting the KKK, you start to think, what the heck is going on in this country? KKK is an American shit. KKK is an American cancer. KKK is an American disease that got some Brazilians contaminated. This is how crazy this country is. This is how complex and how insane this jungle is. Now listen to this, folks. The Congress dude, this fake-ass Japanese Brazilian, said he's gonna sue anyone who's trying to associate him with Nazism. What? He said himself Nazi party should be legal. Now he's going to sue anyone who's telling the truth? I just hope he doesn't sue me. It makes no sense. But what makes sense in this country anyway? And while you're talking about the subject, this Latino Brazilian journalist or reporter made what appears to be a Nazi sign. Oh, Brazil. Would that be just another Latino supporting the Nazis? Whatever. And last but not least, after giving an interview, this former Brazilian justice minister again did what appears to be a Nazi sign after giving an interview where he talked about the infamous podcast episode where a fellow from his party took part. Looks like the Brazilian Japanese Congress dude and this former Brazilian justice minister are from the same party. Now they all apologize, trying to fix the mess they made. But fortunately, most Brazilians are totally against all kinds of prejudice and racism, and Nazism has got no place in this society because we are a people with melanin. We are a people blessed by the sun. But you know, I know Brazil does a lot of shit, but making Nazism a crime was a very wise and humane move. And if it's not a crime in America, well, it should. Now this podcaster posted on Twitter, the YouTube has banned him for good from the platform. Oh, things happen too fast over the internet. It's really hard to keep up. Of course they did. What do you expect, genius? I got my shit deleted from the YouTube for way less than that. You know, these dudes are liberals, libertarian, conservatives, a little bit feminists. Those definitions are so complex. People are so complex. Over thousands of years of evolution, we became such a complex species. Maybe they were just trying to defend freedom of expression. However, with freedom of expression comes great responsibility. And I didn't take it from that famous superhero story. Well, actually, I did, but it works. With freedom of expression comes great responsibility. Once I interviewed a 90-something years old Auschwitz survivor, and the horrible things he told me he's been through on that camp got me up at night. I had nightmares after listening to testimony of that survivor. And if we could just try and imagine what those people been through, we would never, ever support such idea. Now listen to this. A couple of years ago, it was 3, maybe 4 years ago, I had an internet cafe. A place where people would hang around and pay to use the internet. They would pay like 25 cents an hour to surf on the web for an hour. And I was talking to my friend at the sidewalk. Then came this old lady. I think she's still alive to these days. She actually is a COVID survivor. She was an urn from a rich family. She was a landowner. And she had this little ravish dog. It was one of those poodles, like one of those Luzarian dogs. One of those. Have you ever seen those females influencers with those luxurious dog, those very expensive little dogs? She had one of those. It was a very expensive dog. She was passing with this little beast on a leash, and it started barking at us. It started barking at us like crazy. It wanted to bite us. It was pushing the leash, trying to bite us, and barking at us like crazy. I remember one occasion I was working in a very rich house with some other friend, and there was one of these little puppies, and he started barking at us. You know, those little things doesn't like us. And my friend said, "Oh, be careful, this little dog worth way more than you." Whoa, probably, yeah. And at the moment she was passing by us at the sidewalk, she said this: "Oh, excuse my little puppy, it's got a little problem. It doesn't like the poor," she pointed at me, "and the nigger," she pointed at my friend. And she followed her path. We were staring at each other like speechless. And we didn't say anything because she was such an old lady. And she was from another time, a time where those things were acceptable. At the present times, It's absolutely not a political correct way of treating people, but back then, at the 70s or 60s, yeah, it was quite common. Not that she is a racist. I mean, maybe she is a little bit racist, but not so racist, because she used to pass on the sidewalk in front of my company and used to talk every day. She used to talk to both of us every day, like nothing happened, because she was for another time. And on her head, she didn't think she offended us. She was like just making a joke or something, because she is from another time and the world has changed.